Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 556. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Corey Feinsod.
Ahoy.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Yo.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 556. As I said on the movie cast, these guys right here, the true heroes of the podcast, because they've been going through the summer, hitting the episodes, no problem. I think Corey's been on all of them. I think Tony had to miss one for work, but I've had to miss like 3.
I was going to say, I'm on call right now, so knocking on wood, I haven't.
Oh, Jesus. I think it just jinxed us. Oh, my God. All right. Let's get moving then. Mike's got a family thing going on for the summer, so he's out today. But let's get into this. Welcome, listeners, to 556 and viewers, sorry. So, guys, I just kick us off with what I've been playing. I played, because I went on a trip and I decided to sit down and play my Switch. I ended up playing Trials of Mana. Trials of Mana? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I stopped playing Trials of Mana. I don't like it at all. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like Secret of Mana. I played that game. I loved it. This story is terrible. Like, has anybody commented? Like, I can't play an RPG if the story is like fucking terrible. Like, it's really bad.
You're talking about the 3D remake?
Trials of Mana.
Yeah.
Is it the 3D remake of it? I don't like this story. I never played Trials. I don't like the story.
Which character did you pick?
I'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Oh no. Oh God, I did jinx us. Jesus. All right. The orange-haired character. What's his name? Why am I drawing a blank? He's got like longer hair. He's a fighter. The son of a fighter who got killed.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I chose him, and I just don't like the story. Maybe I should restart with another character then. Different stories, right?
Yeah.
I tried to play it. I played it for like 2 hours, and I'm just like, I don't like the story. I'm like, I don't like his motivations. I don't like the character. I'm like, I'm not happy with it.
Yeah, you might want to try into the character. I picked the one, I think she's a mage or whatever like that, and it's about her, like she's supposed to be, like her mother was like a powerful sorceress or whatever like that, and like she's like the ruler of, I don't know, the kingdom or something like that. So she's a princess or whatever like that, and she's supposed people are expecting her to be like a prodigy or something like that, and she like kind of sucks. So like that's her story.
Just try her.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch
I didn't like it, and the combat's fine. There's nothing wrong with the combat. It's fine, and the game is fine.
I totally hear you about the story. I mean, that's the number one reason why you play an RPG, right?
Yeah. And it just hasn't 2 hours, and it hasn't hooked. It might hook me later, but I'm like, this is too slow of a burn for me at this point. I'm like, I don't want to do it, but I'll try another character then, because I don't mind the combat, so I'll give it a shot. But that's like, for gaming, that's really all I got to do last week. And I'm trying to think of what I did the week before. Scarlet Nexus, I know I played, but I think I talked about that a little bit. I haven't played too much more of that. I think that's it for gaming. So I think that's it, yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting a major thing. No, I did. So, the fun part was going retro. We talked about retro on the movie cast, for those wondering. Going retro, guys, I did bust out the Switch, and with some older guys, my older brother and his friends who all played the NES, we busted out some NES classics, and also Super Nintendo ones. So I did get to play a lot of those games. Pilot Wings was one of them on the SNES, and God, that game. Oh, I can't believe I was so good at, like, Mario Kart and Super Nintendo. I used to be killing that game. I was so good at it, and I'm like, this game is tough to even see things in. How do I play this game? I don't know how I played it so well. But it's also amazing how I found it amazing, and they did too when I was putting the codes in, to remember the codes for Metroid and Punch-Out to get to the end characters and to get all the unlocks. It's just ingrained in my head, like Justin Bailey, Bailey, all dashes across.
I forget the Punch-Out one.
Punch-Out was 007-373-5963. And that's what they did. I rattled it off. They're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, it was ingrained in my head. I can't remember what I did like yesterday, but that I've got. So
nice.
It was fun. We played that. We played some Zelda. We played was it Balloon Fight? Yeah, Balloon Fight. Yes. Was it Balloon Fight?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's on there. And then what was the other game we played? We played a whole bunch of baseball, the original baseball. Oh my God. I'm really bad at that game, but my brother and I used to sit down and play that game nonstop, and we would like play around, like we would toy around on the base pass. I can't even do that anymore. I have no idea what's going on. but the codes I get. So, and I promptly got destroyed by it's not Mike Tyson in this game. It's the Dream. I think it's Mr. Dream. Because I played the Mike Tyson Punch Out version. That's when I loved that game. But the end boss now obviously is not Tyson because he went to jail when this was coming in, and they decided to redo the ending with their original character. And I promptly got destroyed by him multiple times. My reflexes are not there. But yeah. So that's all I did. That's all I got to play. Corey?
Actually, I've been playing a bunch of Tribes of Midgard on PC. It's a survival game where you're thrown down into a world with very little and just got to, build resources and stuff. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. It's a, roguelite style thing where you do your run, see how long you can survive, and then bring back stuff that you gather. You do have an option to return early and get more currency. I guess they have it's their golden horns they call it. It's basically an in-game currency to buy stuff in the shop in Valhalla, and then you can go back down and start a new run and stuff. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. So other than that though, that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Tony?
I've been playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles on the Switch. And yeah, I mean, if you played Ace Attorney, you know what you're getting into. But it's really fun. The game came out a couple years ago on the 3DS in Japan. It never, unfortunately, was localized outside of Japan.
I remember hearing that.
Because that was the fuck Capcom period.
Yes.
We're out of that. So Capcom was like, oh, you know what?
Made it.
Yeah.
We graduated.
Capcom was like, oh, I guess we do want to make money. Let's release this game we never did before. So yeah, I mean, it's fun. This is a prequel series, so it actually takes place, I think, 100 years or not 50 years or something before, the present day Ace Attorney. It's about his ancestor, actually, and how he gets framed for a murder. And because it takes place when Japan was becoming accepted into the wider world, as in they were trying to become, a little bit westernized and modern, stuff like that. They just adopted, apparently, the modern court system and stuff like that. So it's about him pretty much defending himself against a murder and stuff like that. And, the classic gameplay tropes where you have to, take evidence, use it to counter, witness testimonies and stuff like that to poke holes in the logic and show that they're lying and they don't, they're not remembering accurately. And I gotta say, one of the great things about the Ace Attorney series, and I don't know why, but proving that an NPC character is a fucking liar and proving it just feels so goddamn good. It's you're not a real person, but I'm proving that you're lying, and it makes me feel fucking good because they just stutter and just have nothing to say or whatever. It's just so fucking gratifying proving somebody is a liar. So that's the basis of these games and stuff like that. So one thing I'd have to say is that the first trial, because typically each game is about 4 trials long or something like that, was really lengthy, really meaty. I was like, holy shit, there's they call it the turnabout. So usually you're pressed against the wall and then you prove evidence or whatever like that, and then you flip it, but then something else comes into play and it's okay, I got to prove that wrong. And then that's usually the loop. But this one, I think there's 3 different sections. I was like, holy shit, I wasn't expecting that. So a little lengthy, which is good, if you want more gameplay value. And it's 2 games in the package, so that's nice. And I got it on a discount anyway, so pretty happy with it. Haven't started Neo World Ends With You just yet, but hopefully by next podcast I'll get that.
Cool.
Sweet.
Okay, let's get into some news. I have that news open. Sorry. All right. Well, the biggest thing this week is obviously we're going to hold that. Is I think you talked about Activision Pleasure last week, right?
That was one of his breaking, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's been more found out. We're going to get into that shortly. There's a lot found out from that.
Probably going to talk about it for a couple of months.
Yeah, there's a lot of tie-ins to this. So let's see what we got. We've got the Infinity Ward, Naughty Dog's veterans. They create the new studio. That was late last week, I believe, after the podcast. Right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, pretty much. I thought it was
Yeah.
funny because their studio name is That's Not a Moon.
That's
And
not
so-
moon.
That's no
Yep.
moon. That's no moon.
I saw so much recruiting posts on Twitter from their group. Like
Yeah.
they're like trying to recruit for a big AAA game, $100 million investment from Smilegate to work on their debut title. I really hope it comes together. Like that, you never know. Don't oversell yourself. Like I hate when you come out and say I'm AAA. Like you want to be a AAA developer and just like, can you make yourself that? Like, is that something you brand yourself, or you just make a game and it kind of takes care of itself? Right?
And you'd hope it'd be the second option there, because talk is talk. You got to walk the walk.
Yeah, I just assumed that AAA developers were dubbed so because of what they've done with games, not because that's what they've done themselves. I'm sorry. When I saw that, that's what I thought.
Yeah, no, I
hope the
hear you,
best.
because it's an indie studio. So I mean, they're indie,
Yeah.
but I mean, just based off the name, I was like, they need to make a Star Wars game, right?
Yeah, I think so.
You would think.
I would assume so, but we'll see. They have to. So
I think that's what they're hoping for as well.
And I think everything that's not tied in, we have Fortnite, we have Guile and Cammy coming to Fortnite. Interesting combination there. Like Street Fighter and Fortnite.
Ken come already, or Ryu?
Oh, he was
there.
Ryu and
Ken,
Chun-Li.
yeah.
They were.
Oh,
it was Ryu
Chun-Li.
and Chun-Li, okay. Yeah. So they're going Street Fighter style. Cool. Everybody gets in Fortnite. They're just gonna have characters forever.
Yeah, pretty much. I think even Ariana Grande is coming to.
Well, she's gonna have a concert. She's gonna have a concert, a live concert in the game. I mean, that's the crazy part. Is like they had the Star Wars trailer in the game. It's like, this is crazy.
Oh yeah, the Star Wars trailer that explained how Palpatine just was in Episode 9.
Yep, and he got his freak on, and now we got Rey.
Anyways, all right. Other stuff we have, Elder Scrolls 6 won't be released until after Fable, so 2030.
Sure.
Is that our best guess here?
The one thing that I thought was funny about that one is that we knew
50?
like they're doing Elder Scrolls 6. They talked about it a little bit. We also knew they were doing Fable, but then they told us they weren't doing Fable, and now they are doing Fable, and then we never heard about Fable again for like 2 years. So
I was shocked when I heard about it this year. I was like, I expected something.
You'd expect
this year
something.
I know we had COVID, but something.
Yep.
Yeah, but come on.
Because didn't they have that weird dungeon defense tower defense crawler thing that they were going to do, and that got canned? And
yeah.
Who knows?
All right. Let's get into meat and potatoes of the podcast here, as we call it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last week a little bit, but wow, some of the stuff that's come out after we talked about it last week, Tony, it's like
unbelievable.
Just like your mind is
Cosby
blown.
Suite. The Cosby Suite. Like, and I loved on our Discord, our friend Nick was. I can't be surprised anymore by anything that if this was what was what was said, and then after that it's just like it just was just downward trending like crazy. I mean everything posted afterwards was just ridiculous what was coming out. But even like the Cosby Suite thing, just like that's just crazy. Apparently a bunch of executives, including I think it's who does he work for? The customer relations or something like that. The executive for. He was part of Blizzard during this time. I can't remember his name.
Ghostcrawler. Ghostcrawler?
Yes. Yeah. So he was, he's involved in this as well. And his name's like, you on your way? And he's like, yeah, I'm on my way. And they're like, it's a Facebook group that they made, and somebody posted it like boasting about it like years ago, and it's just unbelievable. So these guys would have a room that they would dub the Cosby Suite. And obviously, and go around cons to try to pick up women, and
yeah,
and obviously we know who Bill Cosby turned out to be. I think they claimed, oh, this was, because the rooms were so ugly and his sweaters were bad. Like, oh yeah, sure, guys, yeah, like, that's gonna hold up. But yeah, like,
and then text messages where it's like you can't hold all the you can't hug all the chicks to yourself. Or you can't marry them all. Can't marry them all. And it's like you misspelled fuck. It's like, wow. And then somebody spelled it was like, oh, that was this one dude talking about his wife. And it's like, really? You just casually let your coworkers just talk about fucking your wife. Like,
and she's a cosplayer, right? That's the cosplayer you're bringing up.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I see that they had their walkout last week as well. And Ubisoft actually had 500 current and former Ubisoft workers tying this in. This is separate. Also filed signed an open letter in solidarity with Activision Blizzard workers and calling out Ubisoft's management for its handling of its misconduct scandals over its past years as well. So now we have, multiple. This is like
well, we talked about
opening that
Ubisoft
door.
last year. You know, with
yeah, we did. That's right, we did. Like this opens the gate. Like let's just clean this shit up. All these people should be fired.
This is a industry-wide issue.
Yeah.
Like it's not just these companies. It's like almost the thing is like you have these guys that are male. It's like the industry that's male dominant, obviously, and they start these companies like let's say Blizzard here, and there's just a few people there like frat buddies or whatever in college or whatever, and they build this like culture that they have, and then they start getting bigger and bigger and have to expand, but they never grow out of this culture. They never grow out of those days when they felt like they could do whatever they wanted, and now they have all this power and money and they can get away with doing whatever they want, and so it just compounds and compounds. And and you have these people that throughout the industry obviously that think they can just get away with it, and they don't see people as people. They see them as objects or as resources, and then treat them accordingly. And it's just disgusting. Like I can't believe the amount of stuff that's coming out now. Like we talked about last week, it's like this has been a years long investigation, and it's not just some random like disgruntled employee that's suing them. This is the state of California that's coming after Activision Blizzard. So everything is going to come out. Everything, and whoever's been involved at some point, that's all coming out. And we're seeing, like you'll see, we'll talk about it here, but people are going to be, quietly and obviously loudly dismissed or removed from places of power, because I don't see how they have to basically uproot everything and clean out.
I think you do, and I don't feel any sympathy for these people who lose their jobs, get them out of here, they're done. That's it.
And the shitty part about it is they're getting paid to to leave too.
Yeah, I know. We said that. Like you just mentioned, the president, J. Allen Brack, is leaving the company. Activision has told the staff. Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra will take over as co-leaders of Blizzard. So he's going to get a nice severance package, I'm sure. Not just they could have worded it he's terminated immediately, and that would have been a lot sterner, and not saying he's leaving the company. That means he's still there then. He's not even just like, that should be, you're done. You should be just, you're done. You're fired. Instantly out of there.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, too, is, obviously that had to happen because and I want to make this clear, just in case people missed last week's podcast. This wasn't just something that occurred after Activision acquired Blizzard. It was something that was part of Blizzard culture even before they got bought out. It may have just been exasperated or just completely uncontrolled after the merger, but he knew about it. He knew about the other executive buddies that were treating basically Blizzard and whatnot as a giant frat house for him and his buddies to do whatever they wanted, say whatever they wanted, abuse women, abuse power and stuff like that. So he had to go. He absolutely had to go. And I don't feel fucking sorry for him at all. I just
honestly, even if he didn't know much, like how do you not know?
Doesn't matter.
No, but even if he didn't, like, how can you stay in that position and not like to be like? How can you be competent enough to stay in that position?
If that's true. You either you're either incompetent.
Like, okay, maybe you didn't know anything, but fuck you, man. Like, how well do you know your employees? Like, how well do you know your company? Like, you can't. How do you run a company and not know things that are going on? That you can't be in that position if you don't know what's going on in your company.
Blizzard's head of HR, Jesse Meschuk, no longer at the company as well. He's gone.
And that's the other thing. It's like, who do you complain to when you have a problem? The guy that's fucking like messing with you
part
and like
of it. Yeah.
Treating like shit. Yeah.
So, and this dude was the guy that approved the initial message that went out by Blizzard HR, which sounded so horrible, like in terms of like, we deny everything here, like basically it's just like really, like really you're gonna deny it? And then even Bobby Kotick had to be like, that was a terrible response. Like, so you have the CEO of your parent company saying you're fucking incompetent, which is obvious to everybody. But it's like, wow, that you're really stupid, man. I don't know how you got that position because you're fucking stupid. So hopefully the door hits him on the way out, and hopefully he never gets hired in the industry again.
Really, these people should all be like blacklisted.
They should be in the jail. They should honestly be in jail. Like
they should be. Like there's, I mean, this is what the state of California is going after the company about. Like this is going to open up a lot of trials and lawsuits and everything is going to, these people they're going to be involved in. Yeah, but T-Mobile is no longer sponsoring the Overwatch League sponsor.
They've been there.
That's a
fun, I think.
Or Call of Duty.
Or Call of Duty. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah, and which is Activision.
Yeah, I mean they're going to start losing more. That's the first. You'll have more drop. I mean, I would assume that's one of their biggest because usually, I mean, you can see that.
I got a jersey with T-Mobile right on the front of it. So
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's an antique now.
Yeah, I mean, it's so insane that this company is going to hurt for a long time, just because the handful.
I want to play nothing from Blizzard. I don't want to play anything from Blizzard. And the problem is there's good people working on that.
Yeah,
well, that's the thing. Is like you have to that's what you have to remember too. Is like there are human beings that were treated like this, that are there, enduring all this stuff, and that are putting work and effort into these products, and yet you got to feel for them, but at the same time, it's like you do not want to support the company that has done this stuff. So it's like I feel really bad for them because they're going to be the ones that are going to be hurting the most.
They're the most, yeah. They're not having golden parachutes.
Yeah, exactly. The victims of this whole thing are going to be doubly screwed because first they're getting treated like shit, and now they're going to probably, unfortunately, not be in a position where they can have their jobs the same way they were, which is also a good thing, but it's a bad thing for them too. Because
I mean that's the hardest part. Like, and I had that thought last week when we were ranting in Discord about them. I was just like, it sucks for the people that are still there working on this game,
right?
Are literally doing nothing
J.
wrong.
Allen Breck guy, he probably made more money going out the door than all of his employees combined.
We know that from Jason Schreier. We know that from these books. Like when these executives leave, they still make their money. They get their bonuses even when the games do like shit.
Yeah, and the other thing is like I forget exactly. I'll have to look it up. But so replacing Brack is two people that are co-leaders. I don't know what their title. I don't think they said the titles because coincidentally, Activision Blizzard had their investor call today. So that was
that was a good. That was a good call.
Yeah, exactly. So it's Jen O'Neill and Mike. I think it's Ibarra. Is how you pronounce it? And he used to be
Ibarra. I thought it was Ibarra. Oh, Ibarra, but maybe it's Ibarra.
Yeah, however you say it. He used to be at Microsoft, but apparently they're co-leaders of Blizzard now. But I don't know what the fuck that means. That's not really a title, being co-leader. And this is totally secondary to obviously anything in the lawsuit. But to me, it just seems like Bobby Kotick is going to absolve himself of any, thing, because it's like, oh, well, I had no idea. I mean, I trusted Blizzard to, Brack here, and, he fucked everything up. So Kotick has his scapegoat now, and he implanted two people. It's not Ibarra, it's the Jen O'Neill. She's an Activision executive. So now he's planning her over in Blizzard to exert more control. So now it's just going to be, and what we've been saying for years prior to this was that Blizzard has been losing its soul, so to speak.
Sure.
Because, they've been forced to pump out games. They fucked up the remasters of, Warcraft 3, this and the other thing. So now it looks like Activision, Bobby Kotick is going to exert more control. It's like, oh, well, you guys need to pump out games yearly/annually. We want fucking Call of Duty numbers. We want, blah, 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 this and the other thing. And now, we've talked about, I've said Blizzard's a former shell of their, shell of their former selves, but now it's looking worse now. 5 years from now, it's probably
like it just look like such hypocrites too. Like every voice matters, but like you're gonna treat them like shit. So it's like, come on. Oh, it's so awful.
It's so depressing because literally every one of their goddamn games is about you playing some underdog against an evil dictator that forces their will upon other people and stuff like that. This is like it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. So I don't feel bad for anybody that's being kicked through the door now. Like Corey said, I feel bad for any of the employees that are still there because obviously they got to make money to feed their families, put food on the table, pay rent. But there's absolutely going to be ramifications for all this for everybody.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, Blizzard's got a black mark on it, and it's going to be that way for a long time.
Long time.
I mean, we don't even know what the outcome of this trial will be, but it's not going to be good. Like I said, you don't have a state coming after you after years of investigation.
2 years of investigation. 2 years.
Yeah.
And now an investor started a lawsuit against them because they hid the investigation and the lawsuit. Because obviously their stock prices went down when this was unveiled. So outlook not really good for Blizzard. And I mean, honestly, like, can you even try to imagine them holding a BlizzCon?
I mean, I was shocked when they held the BlizzCon with the China thing going on before. Remember, I was I was shocked then. No, I don't think so. Like, that was a topic that everybody was adamant about, but it wasn't dealing with something that I guess close to home, I guess, for a lot of fans. So
people can just be like, oh well, it's not me. It's not somebody I relate to.
I guess, but I just can't see them. I cannot see them holding a BlizzCon. There's no way. First of all, who's going to be there? Who's going to run it? You're going to fire. Most of these people have to go. I mean, anybody in charge right now that should turn their head the other way, or look the other way, or was involved. They all need to go. They all need to go. Anybody accomplice to it, like even if like the people taking these reports, it's just unbelievable that you've buried this for how many years, and it's unbelievable. It's disgusting. Sorry, disgusting is the right word.
No, it is. Disgusting is the absolute right word for this, and to me it hurts too because I think I said Blizzard was right up there with me for franchises that I grew up with. And I have fond memories of these days, from Diablo to Warcraft 3 to StarCraft to World of Warcraft.
I mean, the thing with Blizzard was too is like they used to put out games and immediately you knew that was going to be a quality game and it was going to just be awesome. And Warcraft 2 was just like put so many hours in that. Warcraft 3.
Warcraft 3.
Obviously, and
Diablo
that started.
3, Corey.
I mean, you got Dota from basically Dota from Warcraft 3.
The whole MOBA thing, exactly. The whole MOBA scene only became about because of fucking modding and stuff like that.
It makes you feel dirty,
being involved. I agree. I just kind of you don't want to touch their stuff, but it's like, man, I was excited to play Diablo 4. I was talking about Diablo 4. I'm like, I know you guys say it looks like shit, but I'm like, I kind of like it's the look I want. That's what I want in my
Diablo's. Yeah, I love Diablo 3 with on console, like what they.
That's where you played hours of that. We played. Yeah, I probably logged 200 hours.
So much on Switch too.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I just it's so it's just disgusting, and I mean, there's reports where women being asked how many times they were penetrated on the floor, on floors for marketing recruiting.
Well, there was a woman who had a shirt on that said something about her because she was a cybersecurity engineer or something, and she had a shirt at something about penetrating.
Pen tester or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And so that triggered a whole downward spiral. And
but then I was reading this thing about how what was it? The women's bathroom for breastfeeding and changing babies didn't have a lock on it. So women would be in the middle of breastfeeding their baby, and male employees would just come in and just kind of stare at them before they had that to leave. And it was how is this common sense to you?
It's who raised these people? That's the other thing. It's
the bad part of gaming, man. This is the problem with certain gamers have a horrible rap. You got the internet trolls, you got this shit. You get the smell that we're always talking about. Remember the con smell? I mean, it's just goddamn.
Yeah.
He's spoiling it for people that are actual legitimate, enjoy going to cons and love playing video games and want to be in that field, that want to work in that for their careers. And it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, it's interesting. Kotaku actually, I don't know if you guys saw the video where I think it was a BlizzCon from 10 years ago where this woman asked a panel, including Red Street and Brack on there, about, hey, can we have more women that don't look like they stepped out of a Victoria's Secret catalog? And first, instantly she got booed by all the men in that room, like the crowd. But then the people that she was asking the panel question to, they all like made fun of her and was like, oh, well, what catalog do you want them to look like they stepped out of? It's like, wow, you're really fucking funny, dude. Like, damn, like, why aren't the dudes like looking at, like they picked one or something? It's like, god damn, like that's such a tone deaf and ignorant response. And the thing is, like, I lit up Ghostcrawler on my own timeline because I was just like, fuck you, dude. Like, the thing that pisses me off is when these people get found out, they get blasted, and then they try to defend themselves. And he'll be like, oh, I couldn't see the look on her face, and this really disappoints me, and I'm ashamed I didn't say something. It's like, dude, like, did you not hear the booing? Like, you never stop to think, like, oh, maybe this is a shitty response. Like, no, it's like, don't try to apologize now, 10 years after the fact because everybody's roasting you for it. It's like, you're just sorry you got caught. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like,
otherwise, I absolutely, it's more you're sorry you got caught. It's ridiculous. So, nope, lose the jobs, never have a job in that field ever again. And you know what?
he
needs to lose
his
his job too.
He's at Riot.
Yeah, no, he's at Riot.
They need
to get rid of him.
I hope he, like, I said,
I mean, we talked about Riot too. They had some issues
they have,
as well.
California investigated them too. And I even said, like, damn, that sucks because I liked Riot. I love League of Legends and stuff like that. And apparently it's gotten better over there, but like, damn, you need to get rid of this dude. Like,
that guy's gotta go. If you're trying to get better and change your image, that's cut the head off right there.
Yeah, it was just hilarious seeing him tweet and tweet and tweet.
I know.
Like,
I saw it.
I was like, dude, like, what the fuck? And then finally he's like, yeah, I'm going to take a break. It's like, no wonder you probably your lawyer is probably screaming at you to just shut the fuck up because like you're not helping yourself at all. You're not making yourself look better because
everything you say can and will be used against you, motherfucker.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So
no, I mean,
like, how hard is it to not be a shitty fucking human being? Really hard, apparently. Like,
dude, we talk about the movie cast, like with COVID stuff. It's like Americans suck, man. We are absolutely terrible at either like following rules or doing things that just make common sense. Like common sense, I think, is vastly.
It's not so common.
Yeah, it's like underrated or overrated, whatever it is. It's just like people do not have common sense these days, and it really comes down to, I think, just like the fact that the internet and how easily we are like accessible to be anonymous and everything. It just bleeds over into real life, and just like like, oh, I can just do whatever I want on the internet, and it starts to just bleed into what you do for real. And like, oh, I can get away with this on here, so I'm gonna get away with this over in my real life and garbage shit. But yeah, it's amazing. Like, I don't know if are we getting old now? It's like, are we just that like old that we're just looking at these kids and be like, what the fuck's happening to society?
But I mean, like that, yeah, that's separate. But like all these dudes are older than us. Like all these executives.
That's what I mean. They've been around longer. Like, yeah. They might be our age, which just it's. I don't think they're younger. Not a lot of them aren't younger, but they've been doing it for years. That's the problem. Yeah. So, but then they're teaching a culture, like they're creating this culture themselves, and it's
right, and they're showing that it's okay. They're showing that that if you want to be where we are, like this is how you behave.
Yep.
And that's the problem. So,
and
people are afraid to stand up too. I mean, that's the other thing. It's like, they're
well, that's why we'll get more. We'll have more next week to talk about.
That's hopefully like the silver lining in all of this is that we get more, people being brave about it. And like we talked about last week, it's like one person may not feel comfortable doing something, but when you have 10, 20, 50 people standing behind you, then it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, and I mean, like I was even reading something about an artist, or I forget, a dev at Insomniac for the new Ratchet and Clank game, about how him and the art director, who was a woman, had to argue with, like, I think a marketing person and another senior lead game designer or something like that, about how the female character should not have like gigantic breasts and like shapely hips and stuff like that. And it's just, and this dude wound up leaving because they got into this huge argument. And he's like, does fucking, what's his name?
Clank, Ratchet?
Whatever, Ratchet, I guess. Does Ratchet look like a fucking man? Like, no. Like, come on. Like, what are you doing? Like, why is this a thing? Like,
They actually redid the female Bugs Bunny character. What the fuck is her name in New Space Jam?
Lola.
Well, yeah.
Lola, yeah.
They had to redo her too. Like,
Yep.
because yeah.
Ugh.
It's the internet, man. Porn is
It
free.
is.
It's like, come on, just.
Just let the fans do it. They'll do it for you, man. You don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's gonna wrap up. What? Go on.
No, I was just gonna say representation
more?
overall.
We got more ranting.
Like, just representation overall is like piss poor, like in general.
Well, that's what it is. And then you hear about Ubisoft has more complaints that weren't taken care of either. Like, and that's where it's like, this is just gonna. I mean, you have to break it down before you can get better. So it's just like, it's gonna be bad.
The thing is, it's unfortunate because it's a systemic thing. It's not unique to this industry. I mean, we just saw Me Too a couple of years ago. It's unfortunately just ingrained in a lot of company cultures and stuff like that. And it's going to take things like unions and maybe third-party organizations that investigate and, you can report this stuff to actually get permanent change. Because I wouldn't be surprised that all the other companies would come forward now or be investigated, or you're going to start hearing stories about other companies. But it's hard for me to imagine something as grandiose as like the Blizzard thing, because this was just all the way to the top, like straight up nobody was getting punished. Like, it was just awful. So
no, it's just like we said, everything needs to be re-investigated or re-looked at, and everybody's got to take another look through their own self and their companies and stuff. And again, like I was saying, representation in general, like as far as women and their how they look, men and how they look, races, like it's just
diversity and belonging and stuff like that.
We are catering and making it seem like white male is the way, is like the most strong and powerful, and it's like that if you're not a white male, you're nothing. So
I think even like Bungie even came out with something stating with the the Blizzard employees, like the victims, and they even admitted like we probably have room for improvement too, but it's just something we got to do and stuff like that. It's like I like that response, because I'd be hard pressed to find a company that wasn't guilty of this on some level.
Absolutely.
More
to come.
More to come. There'll be more to talk about. It's going to wrap up for 556 of the Gamecast. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us allyoucangeek@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter @allyoucangeek. You can like us on Facebook, and also subscribe if you're watching this, and like this video on YouTube. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys next week. We're out.